The transport shuttle descended through the swirling amber clouds of the planet below. Inside, the man once known as a child on Earth sat strapped into a hard seat, his hands clasped tightly in his lap. The viewport showed a landscape of crystalline forests and soaring, organic-looking spires that glittered under a binary sun. He was not a diplomat or a soldier. He was a botanist, specializing in xenophyte compatibility. And he was, according to a transmission that had appended his life. BETROTHE. His mind drifted back, not for the first time since the royal summons arrived. It was a dusty field on the outskirts of a colony town, the air smelling of earth and promise. 2 children, 1 human boy and 1 alien girl with eyes like liquid silver and skin the gentle hue of twilight, sat beneath a makeshift fort of packing crates and a tarp. She was a ward of the colony, a refugee from a distant conflict, the last of her kind among them. They were inseparable. On the day the special envoy came for her, the air was thick with unspoken goodbyes. He, just a boy of 10, had felt a profound and desperate ache. He wanted to give her something to take with her, a piece of their world, a piece of him. He had fumbled in his pocket and found a loop of twisted copper wire he had been shaping into a ring for a toy. He took her 6-fingered hand. The words tumbled out, a vow stolen from an old video. "Do not forget me. When we are grown up, I will come for you. I will wed you." He slipped the wire ring onto one of her slender fingers. It was a clumsy, earnest thing. She had looked at it, then at him, her luminous eyes wide. She did not smile, but she nodded once, a solemn, regal gesture that seemed too old for her face. "I will hold you to your promise," she had said, her voice a soft chime. Then she was gone, whisked away to a destiny he could not fathom. Years passed. He learned her people, the Illyrians, had reclaimed their throne world. She was not just any refugee. She was the last scion of the Crystal Throne. The news feeds showed her coronation, a figure of majestic and remote beauty, crowned with light. He tucked his childhood away, a sweet, private memory. He became a man of soil and science, not courts and crowns. He assumed his vow was just that, a childhood memory, precious but powerless. The royal summons etched on a sheet of molecular film proved otherwise. It contained only an image of the copper wire ring, now encased in a permanent bubble of clear diamond, and 5 words in the elegant Illyrian script: "The Queen awaits her promise." The shuttle settled onto a landing platform that seemed grown rather than built. He was met by a tall, austere steward whose robes shimmered like oil on water. No words were exchanged. The steward led him through arches of living crystal that sang in the wind. The air was sweet and thin. They finally entered a garden suspended between 2 spires. It was a breathtaking mosaic of flora from 1,000 worlds, including terraformed earth snapdragons and Venusian ghost ferns. In the center, on a seat of woven light, she sat that time had not changed her. It had refined her. The girl was still there in the slope of her cheek, the set of her mouth, but now she was layered in authority and an ethereal, weary grace. She wore a gown of shifting color, and upon her brow rested a simple circlet of white metal. The diamond-encased wire ring hung from a chain around her neck. She dismissed the steward with a glance. They were alone. He stood, feeling awkward in his practical jumpsuit. He bowed, the formal dip he had hastily learned from the shuttle's database. "Rise." Her voice was the same chime, but now it held the weight of echoes. "You have not changed so much, my old friend." "You have, Your Majesty." The title felt strange on his tongue. A title is a garment. It can be heavy. She gestured to a bench of smooth stone opposite her. "Sit. You are not here as a subject." He sat, his mind a blank. All the speeches he had rehearsed vanished. She looked out over her impossible garden. They tell me you are a keeper of growing things, a understander of roots. This pleases me. My counselors are all warriors, historians, physicists. They think in terms of empires and energy shields. Not one of them knows how to make a lost flower from a lost world bloom again. It is a quiet science, he said. Quiet things are often the most powerful. She turned her luminous eyes to him. They think I am being whimsical, that the stress of the reconquest has touched my mind. To summon a human botanist over a child's promise. They do not understand the weight of a word given in a time of innocence. It is the only pure contract I have ever known. He found his voice. Your Majesty. It was a promise from a child. You are a queen. You cannot be held to the words spoken under a tarp fort. I am held to nothing but my own will, she said, and for a moment the queen was absolute. But my will is to honor that promise. My people need stability, a continuity. They look at me and see a survivor, which is good, but they also see an end. My line ends with me, unless I choose a consort. She paused. The courts buzz with suitors, dukes of neighboring systems, military heroes, political allies. Their promises are written in treaties and trade agreements. They are loud, self-serving, and conditional. I remember a promise written in copper wire. It asked for nothing. It offered everything. He was stunned. You are asking me to become your consort? To rule? To be my husband? To stand beside me? The ruling I will do. I need a foundation that is not political. I need a truth that is not negotiable. She touched the diamond at her throat. This is my truth. Do you remember the day you gave it? Every day, he admitted softly. Then you understand. In the rubble of my childhood, that moment was a clean, clear stone. I built upon it. Now my world is rebuilt, but it is built on calculated alliances and remembered bloodshed. It lacks a heart. I believe you could be that heart. Not as a king, but as a man who remembers a girl, not just a queen. He looked at his hands, the hands that examined soil and tender shoots. They were not the hands of a consort. I am not of your people. I am not trained for this. Your difference is your strength. You see life, not protocol. You see a person, not a throne. She leaned forward, the regal distance fading. They will challenge you. They will call you a primitive, a biological curiosity. The court will be a garden full of thorns. But I have seen you make things grow in hard places. Can you grow this with me? He stood and walked to the parapet, looking out at the shimmering alien world. He thought of his greenhouse on the research station, of the simple, predictable cycle of life there. Then he thought of the girl who had shared her strange, sweet candies with him, who had taught him the names of her lost world's constellations. That girl was here, beneath the crown, asking him for the one thing no one else could give her, a link back to a time before destiny claimed her. He turned to face her. The fear was still there, a cold knot in his stomach. But beneath it was the memory of that old, fierce protectiveness he had felt, the desire to give her something to hold on to. I do not know the first thing about being a consort, he said. I will make mistakes. I will likely cause scandals. A smile, the first true one, touched her lips. It was the girl's smile. I will manage the scandals. He took a deep breath. But I know about promises. And I know about nurturing fragile things. He looked at the diamond, at the childish twist of copper inside. If you truly believe this can help your people, if you believe it can help you, then I will honor my word. I will wed you. She rose, a movement of pure grace, and closed the distance between them. She did not embrace him. She simply stood before him and took his human hand in her six-fingered one. The contact was electric, a bridge across years and light years. "Then we shall begin," she said. "Not with a state ceremony, but here, in this garden. You will tell me of your work, and I will tell you of the counselor who thinks a neutrino flow is more important than clean water for the Eastern Spire. We will learn our new world, you and I." And so, in a garden between the stars, the botanist and the queen began. He did not put another ring on her finger that day. Instead, he pointed to a struggling Terran oak sapling in a corner of the garden, its leaves browned at the edges. He spoke of soil pH and adaptive mycorrhizae. She listened, her head tilted, and gave an order for the royal gardeners to follow his instructions. It was not a grand romance, not yet. It was a partnership seeded long ago in a dusty field. The court was indeed full of thorns. The nobles whispered. The diplomats scoffed. But slowly, quietly, a change began. The strange human consort was often not in the throne room. He was in the hydroponic farms, increasing yields. He was in the arboretums, cross-pollinating Illyrian blooms with hardy earth stock to create new, resilient food sources. He spoke to engineers about atmospheric processing, using a botanist's understanding of air purification, and when he was in the court, he stood beside her. He did not try to be Illyrian. He was simply, steadfastly himself. He remembered the names of servants. He asked questions about traditions, not out of politics, but out of genuine curiosity. He was, the people began to say, a steady root for their soaring queen. The whispers of curiosity turned, slowly, to murmurs of respect. At night, in their private chambers, he was not a consort, and she was not a queen. They were two people from a shared past, learning a shared future. She taught him the subtle language of Illyrian court gestures. He taught her how to play poker with a deck of earth cards. They talked of their separate years, the burdens she carried, the solitude he had,